There is an ancient truth that echoes through the teachings of the Stoics. You cannot step into the same river twice, for the water is never the same, and neither are you. When a woman who once walked away from your life returns, understand that both of you have changed. The question is not why she has returned, but how you will respond, as a man governed by wisdom, not by impulse. We are not called to react, but to reflect. The Stoic man does not chase affection, nor does he close the door out of pride. He stands still like the mountain and lets the storm pass, always anchored in virtue, never lost in emotion. Let us now explore 5 guiding principles, not for her, but for you, should she find her way back to your doorstep. When someone returns after walking away, their words may come dressed in warmth, regret, or longing. But for a man who lives by Stoic principles, it is never the speech that determines truth, it is action. A woman may say she has changed, that she misses you, or that she now sees your worth. Yet, a Stoic understands that words are cheap when they are not followed by consistent behavior. If she left without valid reason, if she caused harm, or if her departure was impulsive, her return must be treated with careful observation, not immediate acceptance. This is not about being cold or unkind. Rather, it is about respecting the peace and growth you have cultivated in her absence. Has she taken responsibility for her actions? Has she made visible efforts to rebuild trust? Or is she simply seeking comfort, escaping loneliness, or testing her influence over you? These are questions that are not answered through conversation but through time and behavior. A Stoic man is patient. He does not demand clarity right away because he knows clarity often reveals itself slowly, like sunlight creeping over a mountain ridge. By testing her intent through her actions, you give yourself the opportunity to remain grounded and wise. You avoid falling into the trap of old habits or emotional quicksand. You hold her to a higher standard, not out of vengeance, but because you now hold yourself to one. This protects your peace and shows her that access to you is not automatic. It must be earned. And only by watching how she consistently behaves not once but repeatedly, can you determine if her return is genuine or merely a temporary impulse. This is the path of discernment, and it belongs to the man who has learned to rule himself first. When she returns, your emotions may rise like waves in a storm. Memories, hopes, and desires, all stirred up at once. But the Stoic does not let the storm govern the ship. He understands that emotional discipline is the anchor that holds him steady. You may feel flattered, even relieved. A part of you may want to believe this is the happy ending you waited for. But in the Stoic mind, emotions are not enemies nor are they masters. They are signals. Valuable, yes, but not infallible. If you let your emotions lead, you risk making decisions that betray your progress. You may overlook red flags, forgive too quickly, or fall back into unhealthy patterns. But if you master those emotions, observe them, feel them, and still choose wisely, you show true strength. She may cry, apologize, or tell you how lost she felt without you. And while compassion is noble, it must be tempered with reason. Ask yourself, are you responding out of clarity or out of a desire to soothe your own loneliness? Stoicism teaches us that the highest form of love is not blind attachment, but self-command. You can still care about her and yet not allow her presence to destabilize your inner calm. You can feel affection without surrendering your judgment. You can wish her well without immediately granting her space in your life again. Emotional discipline means setting boundaries even when it's hard, even when the heart aches for connection. The man who rules his emotions does not reject feeling. He simply refuses to be ruled by it. This allows him to protect what he has, built to preserve his peace and to walk forward without regret. Love can return, but wisdom must lead. When she comes back, your first instinct might be to question her motives. This is natural. But the Stoic approach demands a higher discipline, not suspicion but clarity. You must evaluate not just her words but her actions. What changed? What caused her to leave before? More importantly, what has she done differently now to earn a place back in your life? Without evidence of transformation, taking her back would not be strength, It would be sentimentality mistaken for virtue. The Stoic man does not live in the past, nor does he dwell in fantasies about what could be. He looks plainly at the present and asks, "Is this good for my soul? Is this good for the direction of my life?" Re-accepting someone into your life should never be based on nostalgia or longing alone. These emotions, while deeply human, must be tempered by judgment. If she has not grown, if the circumstances that drove you apart remain unchanged, then her return is not a gift, it is a distraction. True forgiveness is not about pretending the past never happened. It is about recognizing it, learning from it, and deciding from a place of inner clarity whether a renewed connection would serve both of you. Often we confuse a second chance with weakness or desperation. In Stoicism, however, a second chance is only meaningful if it is rooted in mutual growth. It must be earned, not granted out of fear of solitude. A Stoic man does not slam the door in resentment, nor does he fling it wide open in naivety. He opens it only when he sees that what enters will not disturb his peace. To do otherwise would be to betray the very stillness he has worked to cultivate. The decision must serve your higher self, not your fleeting emotions. When a woman returns after leaving, it is natural to feel a mix of emotions: hope, confusion, perhaps even a rekindled desire. But in Stoic philosophy, emotions are not our rulers. They are data points, not commands. The wise man understands that his time and energy are finite, and he must guard both as a steward guards a sacred flame. Your time is not merely hours on a clock, it is the measure of your life. If you give it to someone again, it must be for a reason that aligns with your values, not just your feelings. The Stoic teaches that you are responsible for your own peace. If she comes back into your life, you must ask, will her presence build peace or disturb it? Will she support your path or create detours? Women may return for many reasons: loneliness, regret, jealousy, not all of them noble or rooted in love. Your task is to discern which it is, and to protect your energy with the same strength you would protect your body from harm. Just as a man does not allow poison into his food, he does not allow emotional chaos into his life. You are not obligated to re-enter a dynamic that drained you, confused you, or made you question your worth. Sometimes the most powerful decision is to walk away, again, but this time with finality and with wisdom. To guard your time and your energy is to guard your purpose. She must match your discipline or be willing to grow toward it. Anything less will hinder you. Let her actions, not her apologies, prove her worth. And if her return would cost you your peace, then understand that no external affection is worth the sacrifice of inner clarity. That is not cruelty. It is the highest form of self-respect. The final and perhaps most crucial step when a woman returns after leaving you is to remain emotionally detached until consistent actions prove her intent. Emotional detachment does not mean coldness or cruelty. Rather, it is clarity. It is the practice of observing without absorbing, of feeling without being ruled by the feeling. A Stoic understands that people can be unpredictable, and that words, without aligned action, are merely noise. When emotions cloud judgment, mistakes are made. A man who is too eager to welcome her back, without pause, without standards, surrenders his strength. She must know that your boundaries are not decorative, they are firm. Your heart is not a revolving door. If she wants to re-enter your life, it must be because she has changed in a meaningful way, not because the world outside became inconvenient or lonely. True emotional detachment means that you have mastered yourself first. You no longer crave validation from her presence. You are open but not desperate. You are kind but not naive. You listen, but you no longer cling. This calm detachment allows you to assess reality as it is, not as you hope it to be. Observe whether her behavior consistently reflects commitment, respect, and growth. Is she taking accountability for her past actions? Is she contributing to your peace, or only seeking to ease her own guilt? Your power lies in your ability to choose. To pause, to watch, to walk away if needed. There is dignity in restraint and wisdom in distance. Remember, a man of purpose does not chase what is uncertain. He lets time reveal all truths. Let her prove through quiet consistency that her return is not an echo of old patterns, but the start of something worthy of your presence. Until then, remain centered in your purpose, not her promises.